And Vince, you got to love the firefighter. He always wanted to play in a WPT event. Didn't have the $10,000 entry to do it, so he got his Firehouse buddies. They played a series of tournaments. The winner got the entry into this tournament. He won it. Here he is at the final table.
Oh, that is a great story. Right now he's down to $1 million. He's got a little smoke inhalation here tonight, but maybe he can come back. Let's go to the action. Quick fold by Ryan and Kathy.
Gavin Smith, he stays aggressive as usual. Raises with the Queen 4 hearts. Right behind him, Marc Karam picks up a pair of 8s and is just going to call. Does not raise with the 2 8s.
And now it's on to Gramps, our chip leader, folding his hand.
210.
And now the firefighter with ace 5 of clubs is going to re-raise.
He is going to pop it up here. Got to take down his first pot at this final table.
Made it 210,000 to go. Gavin has folded, so it's back on Marc Karam with the 8s.
There you see Jim's fiance. Well, Marc is going to make the call with the 2 8s. Marc's out in front. Let's see what's going to flop out there. The flop comes Jack 9-7. Marc has 2 8s in the gut shot straight draw.
I'm all in.
But right in front of him, the fireman moves all in.
Yeah, with absolutely nothing, he is going to bet 790,000. What a bet by the firefighter.
He has busted that window and taken out the axe. He is trying to put the hose on Marc Karam right here. Let's see if it works.
Oh, you can push the fire alarm if it gets called.
Well, Vince, you know, you wonder what Marc's mindset is right now. The last time we saw him at a WPT final table, he went out in 6th place, and you know he didn't want to go out in 6th again.
Well, he's got an inside straight draw, and he's thinking to himself, would this guy, this amateur player, Jim, put all his chips in without a big pair or something better than mine?
Folds.
And he is going to go away. He believes him. What a nice bet by Jim.
And Vince, in my mind, if Marc made a mistake in that hand, it was not re-raising Gavin to start with the 2 8s. He would have won this pot rather than lost it.
All right, back to the table.
85,000.
Ryan Fisler now with King Jack has moved it up to 85,000 to go. Kathy out. Gavin Smith with ace 10 has made the call.
Marc Karam going out. Glen Witmer, a.k.a. Gramps, lays down the Jack 8 of hearts.
And now the firefighter, Jim. He's not going to play, so we have two-way action here going to the flop.
Well, the flop comes ace 8-4.
165,000.
Gavin out in front with the 2 aces, but Ryan making a big bet here, 165,000. Let's see what Gavin's going to do with his 2 aces. I mean, moments ago, we saw Gavin lay down an ace 8 when there was an ace king in the hand. But here he's going to make the call.
Yep, he's going to be stubborn. He's tired of getting pushed around. Got a better kicker this time. He's made the call.
Now a king comes on the turn. This now gives Ryan a pair of kings.
Check.
And he's going to check now. Doesn't have to bluff anymore because he's got a pretty good hand. He's got second pair.
Gavin also checking. River card a 10, and that's going to help Gavin with aces and 10s. Ryan is quickly checked. Gavin is going to get busy. 295,000 it looks like.
Now, Vince Ryan is trying to figure out what Gavin could have here. He didn't raise before the flop. He didn't raise on the flop. Do you really put the guy on 2 aces here?
200 and...
You're not going to put him on a queen jack. He'd never call a bet on the flop with that. So you wouldn't give him a straight. You're just wondering if he flopped a set, if he made aces up, if he's trying to trap you.
I think I'm good, Gavin.
Or if he's just got something like a 7-8 and is just trying to steal it here.
I'm pretty sure I'm good.
Gavin would love to get this action right now. Get unraveled here tonight.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, like
So far, things have gone the wrong way for him. He'd love to turn this around and take home his second WPT title.
Well, there you see the online pro trying to read Gavin, trying to figure out what he's got. He's got a migraine headache right now, you can see.
Call.
He's going to make the call.
His turn.
Shows it.
And Gavin gets these kind of calls because he's such an aggressive player, plays so many pots, steals a lot of pots. Players know that. That's why he gets paid off in situations like this where other players wouldn't.
Gavin Smith finally reeling in the chips, going after his second WPT title here tonight in Canada. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action on the WPT.
We're giving away $600,000. There's no better value in the month of March than tournaments on WPT Global. We're doing a 100% rake back promotion where all tournament rake will go into 3 tiers of free rolls with increasingly bigger rewards. Qualify when you play and spend money in MTTs from March 4th to March 31st. Want some extra help? Deposit using the promo code YT52 and get our welcome bonus with deposit match.
The new chip leader is Gavin Smith, WPT champion with about 4.2 million. Glen Witmer, they call him Gramps, has about 3.8.
And we're playing at the Fallsview Casino Resort. Just a wonderful property. This a great event on the World Poker Tour events.
Winner's going to take home over $1 million, close to 1.1 million. Let's go back down to the table. Action's going on to Marc Karam, very tough professional from Canada. He quickly folds. Now the chip leader, 67-year-old Glen Witmer. He goes out.
Yes, he lays down a 10 deuce. And named after Doyle Brunson. Gramps would win this tournament. He'd become the second oldest player behind Doyle to win a WPT title.
Jim has gone out. Ryan Fisler not going to play, so it's a battle of the blind. Kathy Leibert with 7-5. Gavin Smith with a jack-9.
Good hand. We might build a big pot here.
Here's the flop.
Flop comes king, queen, 7. Kathy out in front with 2 7s. Gavin with the gut shot straight draw.
And they both check it. Turn card coming up. 6 of diamonds.
Kathy going to reach for a few chips here. That's 40,000. Not a big bet with the 2 7s. And Gavin's going to have none of that piddly little betting. He comes right over the top, Vance. He thinks a raise could take this pot away from her. So he makes it 125,000 to go.
It's just an inside straight draw and the intimidating look of Gavin Smith.
Kathy knows Gavin didn't raise it before the flop. He didn't bet on the flop, and all of a sudden on the turn when a 6 comes off, he's going to go crazy. She's not buying it.
I know you're bluffing, but I can't come.
Nicely done by Gavin Smith.
It really is, Vince. Gavin made that play because Kathy made such a small bet at the pot. He pegged her perfectly for the kind of hand she might have. He just took the pot away from her.
Yes, he did. Okay, and with that pot, the antes are still at 5,000, but the blinds are going to 20 and 40,000. Action right back on the smiling Kathy Leibert as she folds a 10-9.
Gavin has picked up 2 kings. He's got the
boy.
Cowboys. And he's going to make it 110,000 to go.
Good things happening now for the WPT champion, Gavin Smith. Marc Karam folding his hand. And now Gramps peeks down at an ace-4 of clubs. But once no part of it goes out.
Well, we're around to the fireman now. He picks
260.
up a pair of 7s, the 2 walking sticks. He's going to bet 260,000.
Yep, he has raised it. Now Ryan with a mid-pair, pair of 8s. Contemplating a decision.
Boy, the fireman better be real careful. He'll be walking out of here with those walking sticks. But in the meantime, the pot's been raised and re-raised. Well, Ryan's going to lay him down.
And
Well,
wow.
Gavin quickly and quietly goes all in. The fireman makes the call.
Oh boy, he might have just fallen off his ladder right there.
Come on.
He's not careful. He'll be back to the hook and ladder before you
Thank you.
know it if he doesn't get lucky here with the 2 walking sticks.
I thought you were stealing one too many.
I don't steal, bro.
The fireman says, I thought you were stealing. How wrong he was. The whole dream of taking home over $1 million right on the line right here with a pair of 7s.
So right now, the fireman, Jim Trenholm, in a backdraft. He is up against it. His opponent's got 2 kings. He's got 2 7s. So Gavin Smith, former WPT Player of the Year, well out in front with the 2 kings. See if they stand up.
Diamonds are good.
So far, so good. It's come ace 6-4.
Keep them low, keep them low.
The one throwing up right now is Ryan Fisler because he threw 2 8s away.
I had 8-8, yeah. Folded pocket 8s.
Wow. Well, you couldn't call anyway.
No way.
I'll move in over top you
For
anyway.
the fireman to stay alive, he needs to catch a 7 or a 5 here, Vince.
Yeah, he's got an inside straight draw to go with the 7s. Turn card coming up.
Well, a 6 comes off.
Ooh, that was close.
Well, Gavin breathes a sigh of relief, as it was a 3 across, as we say, but For the fireman to stay alive, he must catch a 7 or a 5 on the river. Otherwise, it's back to the firehouse.
5 or 7, 5 or 7.
He needs to strike lucky. Can he get it? No.
Nope, it's a 6. So both players make a full house. Gavin's is higher. He's going to take down the pot. And that's going to do it for the fireman from Toronto, Jim Trenholm, out in 6th place.
Oh, boy, $133,000 richer. Got in this tournament through all his buddies playing. They decided the guy that won the most was going to chip up and get into the World Poker Tour. It's paid off handsomely, but we have to say goodnight to Jim.
How you running today, Gav?
Everything's all right, man. This is my home.
Gavin Smith
You don't want to try to take me on here?
raking in the chips. 5 players remain. We're coming back with more action on the World Poker Tour.
Se você pode entender isso, assista nosso canal WPT Brasil no link da descrição.
Everybody at the table except for Gavin Smith. The players in seats 1, 2, and 3 have all been at WPT final tables before. The players in seats 4 and 6, this is their first time.
All right, we have 5 players remain. Back to the table. Gavin Smith quickly folding. And here goes Mark with ace-king.
110.
He's going to raise it. Comes in for 110,000.
Mark raises to 110,000.
Glen Witmer, not a peep out of him. Quickly folds. And Ryan Fisler also out.
Oh, and Kathy Leibert has picked up Big Slick also. Earlier at this final table, she was all in against Ryan. They both had ace-king. Could it happen again? Kathy in the big blind. Looks like she is getting out raising chips, and indeed she's going to. Makes it 350,000 to go. Marc Karam quickly going all in, and Kathy quickly calling, and both players smiling because they both have ace-king.
At least we got all the suits now. We got all the suits covered. There's more sweat this time.
Mark looking for the black cards to come up. Kathy's looking for the red ones.
Again, ace-king against ace-king for you.
Well, there's Kathy Leibert's mother in the house rooting her on.
You want to chop?
Most likely, right?
The only way either player can win this pot is to make a flush. And the flop is all black. It's come Jack, 8 deuce with 2 clubs. So Marc Karam on the jelly roll, as we say. The free roll, if it comes club, he will win this pot. Otherwise, it'll be a split pot. The 4 diamonds on the turn. So again, 2 players with ace-king all in before the flop. And again, a split pot.
Well, this split, we're going to have to start calling her. Kathy Leibert splitting twice tonight. First time on the WPT, I might add. 7 years out here. We've never seen a person have 2 splits.
Well, we may have. You can't remember what happened for 7 years, Vince.
Could be a lot worse, I guess.
Don't try to act like that.
That's a good point, actually. All right back at him. It's going to be on the man they call Gramps, Glen Witmer, 67 years old. Pretty unimpressive queen 4. He folds.
105,000.
Wow, Ryan with the jack 7. Offsuit, going to raise it, makes it 105,000 to go. So the online pro getting frisky here.
Kathy quickly folding, and now Gavin Smith with a king 3 is going to mess around.
Well, he's going to make the call out of the small blind with a king 3 of spade.
And Marc Karam in the big blind with a 6-4.
That's incredibly, Marc Karam has gone all in with 6 high. What's really impressive is he's done this on the short stack at the table. He's only got $1 million. It's going to cost him $200,000 to make the call here, yet he moves all in, and he's going to take down that pot.
Yeah, they both quickly fold.
That is playing some poker. One guy raises, another guy calls, and you have the Moxy to move all in with a 6 high.
Well, they are playing some fast 5-handed poker. Very well done by Marc Karam. A little thievery going on here in Canada. That was Mark's dad and sister Carla. Action right back on Ryan.
Just got burned by trying to make a move in that last pot.
This time Ryan's got a 5-3. Won't play. Kathy Leibert now with ace-3. Will play.
She's going to raise it. Makes it 120,000 to go. Triples the big blind.
Behind her, Gavin Smith with a 6-5 of clubs. Little suited connector.
He's got the kind of hand that he likes to see flops with. So he's going to make the call.
And now we're on Marc Karam.
And this time Mark looks down at a 9-5 of diamonds. We saw him move all in with a 6 high in the last hand.
All in.
When it was raised and called. And incredibly, Mark moving all in again, this time with 9 high.
Oh, just absolute fluff and puff. Glen folds. Kathy out as well.
Well, Gavin trying to size up the stack size, and it'll be a healthy call if Gavin would have to make it. He's got more chips, but still, it's a $1.1 million re-raise here.
Marc Karam, now officially the Oliver Twist of Canada, just stealing and looting every hand he can get.
And doing it against the chip leader, Vince. That's the most astounding part about these two all-in bets, that he's virtually on the short stack of the table both times, yet it hadn't slowed him down.
And this is probably uncallable, we would think.
Well, if he does call, Vince, he would think he had two live cards if his opponent had ace king or ace queen. Unfortunately for Gavin, his opponent's got him dominated. 9-5 against 6-5.
Just wouldn't make any sense, and he finally mucks the hand.
You know, but you see Gus Hansen make those kind of calls sometimes, but Gavin opts to lay it down. But Vince, what can you say about this Marc Karam? In back-to-back pots, when one player is raised and another is called, he's moved all in twice in a row, once with 6 high, once with 9 high. That is amazing timing. He is really reading his opponents well in terms of putting him on a hand.
Astounding play by him. Just taking the game to another level right now. Back to the table, it's going to be on Gramps, who is a former chip leader. He's got ace king.
200.
Well, he's going to raise it. Makes it 200,000 to go.
Ryan out. Kathy Leibert now going to fold. On to Gavin Smith, wants no part of it, so back around to Marc. This time he picks up a big hand.
He's got 2 queens.
Yep.
Now he's gone all in a couple pots in a row with a 6 high and a 9 high.
I'm all in.
Now he's picked up a real hand, and he's going all in again, this time with the 2 queens.
I call.
But Glenn is going to look him up. He's called him. Glenn has got ace king. Marc has got the 2 queens. So we've got the classic race in No Limit Hold'em. Ace king versus 2 queens.
Queen.
What a predicament. It is a coin flip situation right now.
Am I allowed offering the dealer a bribe? Can I offer him a bribe? No? You like it?
Marc has played so brilliantly the last few hands. He finally gets a big hand. Can it pay off? He's just got to beat Gramps with his big slick. Here comes the flop.
Oh, an ace right in the door.
Awful.
It's come ace, 5 deuce, all spades. Neither player has a spade in their hand. And as we saw, Gavin Smith folded a queen. So Marc has 1 out in the deck. Must catch the queen of spade to win this pot.
A 5 on the turn pairs the board. Marc saying to himself, why couldn't I just have those junk cards again? He's 1 card away from elimination. Here comes the river.
Well, needs a 1-outer to catch a queen. Doesn't get it.
Oh, that is sickening.
And that's going to do it for the Canadian. Marc Karam out tonight in 5th place. But Vince, we did see some creativity out of that guy. He is a poker player.
Great player, picking up 171,000. He is stunned. He's out of here.
Nice hand, Glenn.
Thank you.
We're down to 4 players at the North America Poker Championship.
We're giving away $600,000. There's no better value in the month of March than tournaments on WPT Global. We're doing a 100% rake back promotion where all tournament rake will go into 3 tiers of free rolls with increasingly bigger rewards. Qualify when you play and spend money in MTTs from March 4th to March 31st. Want some extra help? Deposit using the promo code YT52 and get our welcome bonus with deposit match.
4 players left, fighting it out for over $1 million first place prize. Gavin Smith trying to capture his 2nd WPT title. All the others trying to capture their first.
5-time WPT final table player Kathy Leibert on the short stack with just about 800,000. She quickly folds. And now Gavin Smith, a WPT champion, is going to raise with Queen 9.
Going to make it 110,000 to go. And Glen Witmer again looks down at 2 jacks in the blind. He won a big pot off of Gavin the last time he picked up 2 jacks in the blind when Gavin called him with a 9-7 offsuit.
Going to make the same lucky bet from 250,000 ago as Ryan folds. Back on Gavin. It's an additional 140,000.
Well, Vince, he's in position on the button here, but again, calling a raise from a tight player with a somewhat marginal hand. Let's see if it works out for him.
Oh.
It's come king, jack 7. Glen Witmer has flopped 3 jacks.
250.
And Glenn is going to bet the same amount, 250,000. He loves that number. This time he has a set. How sweet it is.
Well, Gavin Smith has the gut shot straight draw. A 10 would give him a straight. Do you want to call $250,000 on a gut shot draw?
Well, Gavin, take it easy. This is your ultimate nemesis. You nicknamed him Gramps early on in the competition, and he has made you go into a little bit of pain here tonight.
Well, man, so far he's treating Gavin Smith like a stepchild. And Gavin is going to gamble here and make this call, needing a 10 to win the pot.
Gavin wants revenge.
Vince, he keeps trying to beat this guy. He's trying to outdraw him. Here comes the turn card. Oh, it's a jack. That gives Glenn 4 of a kind.
250.
And he's going to bet it, which is a mistake. He's going to chase away Gavin. And yes, he does. Gavin folds.
Well, you're right, Vince. You don't want to bet with a cinch of 4 of a kind into an aggressive player. Give him a chance to bluff at the pot. Check to him at least once anyway. But Glen Witmer came to this final table with a chip lead. He still got it. This retired real estate broker from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, got in his tournament on a $170 satellite. What a show he's putting on. Can he cross the finish line? Will Gramps become the champ? This amateur is up against 3 tough pros, including former WPT Player of the Year Gavin Smith and 5-time WPT finalist Kathy Leibert. What a show we're going to have next time around.